It's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Love Spell, and we are starting chapter 9, or episode 9, of Jamie's route. Haunted. Okay, and like, shit's gonna hit the fan now, because we had our sexy times. Shit hits the fan. Okay. I shut the front door behind me as I appraised my disheveled appearance in my living room mirror. Man, that was too close. It was kind of fun, though. As I begin to set my stuff down on my counter, I notice my TV's on. A music performance of Esmeralda is playing, and I hear a small meow from the couch. Love her squeaky meow. It's fucking adorable. There you are, Mina! Where's Philia? Suddenly, the performance ends and a news report begins to air. My eyes widen as video footage of me and Jamie's performance from last night appears on TV. An unknown singing power couple rocked Pastoria Town yesterday night during a local charity event. Several members of the audience posted a video of their emotional and awfully romantic performance. The video has officially gone viral in less than 24 hours. So far, it's already surpassed 20 million views. These lovebirds, and their voices, have captured the hearts of people everywhere. Danger! Danger, Will Robinson! Just in case you didn't figure that one out. I put a hand over my mouth as I watched the report. My face turns 50 shades of red. Stopping for a moment for you to absorb that and laugh about it. Okay. I appreciate that. Not because 50 Shades of Grey wasn't complete and utter garbage and trash and just terrible, but I appreciate the 50 Shades of Red joke. And I can appreciate 50 Shades of Grey jokes. Because it's funny. But no, don't read that. Do better. You can imagine better things than that. Trust me. Anyway. As I watch a rerun of Jamie kissing me on live television. Well, thank God that viral? As the footage plays, I can now take in just how thunderous the applause and cheers from the audience were. An excited smile slowly creeps onto my face, and I can't help but squeal. This is bad, though. I quickly dart around for my phone as Mina continues meowing happily in the background, as if cheering us on. I can't believe this is real! I have to tell Jamie! And now for our next report. Experts say tomorrow's full moon will glow an eerie red as Mars nears Earth for the first time in centuries. Many cultures around the world believe it to be an evil omen that... I stop in my tracks. I can feel the blood drain from my face as I take in the report. Wait, full moon? I turn to Philia with a pleading look as she finishes the last pastry and rubs her tummy with a satisfied look. Philia, help me! What do I do?
Oh, relax, Master. I'm sure you didn't know this, but the spell is actually only temporary. It'll wear off at the next full moon anyway. After then, Mr. Jamie won't even remember a thing. Everything will go back to how it used to be.
Mina glances at me curiously as I quickly turn off the TV and breathe out heavily. This is sad. No, please. This can't end. Not now. My mind races as I think back to Jamie's smiling face, and tears begin to form when I realize the harsh reality of my situation. Like, the Love Spell book is actually kind of terrible. Like, if you step back and look at it, it's like, here's a book, you write someone's name, and then they fall in love with you for a month. That's great if you're a serial fucking romantic and you're just like, yeah, have fun. But it's kind of traumatic for anyone else because she wrote it in there and then they fall in love with you, and then a month later they don't remember and you're like, oh, I do. This isn't like, well, I write their name, we fall in love for a month, and then after a month, neither one of us remembers each other, but you feel happier and like whatever. You're like, hey, I feel like I had a great month, even though you don't remember why. You know what I mean? It's great for heartless people who are just gonna like write I mean, I get it. It was just like the how to help write the story, but like when you take it step back, it's like, it's kind of terrible. Like, look how bad it makes us feel. Like, no, he's gonna forget them. We have to remember, and like, I mean, again, it's great if you have no emotions and you just want to, like, whore yourself around, but, like, I think you could do that without them falling in love with you. But again, then that's just sex. It's not the, like, love and the romance, but then you're empty after they leave. Like, you have to experience a horrible breakup every time you write someone's name in this book. That sounds traumatic. Because it makes me feel sad every time this happens. I know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. We're going to happy ending, live happily ever after. It's going to work out. But still in this moment, you're like, I don't like it. I feel sad and I don't like this feeling. Like, Christ's sakes. We know it's going to be okay. She doesn't. Can you imagine, like, in the reality of it? Oh, I know, it's just a fantasy game, but, like, I don't know why I can't stop thinking logically about these things. I need to stop and just learn to live in my fantasy bubble, but I can't. I don't know. It's weird, because normally I can. It's just, I think it's just the trauma, because it makes me feel so sad, and I guess that's part of what makes the writing in this good, is like, you know it's gonna be, you're not like, oh, it'll be fine. It's still like, oh, it hurts, and I don't want it. It's gonna hurt. I know it's gonna be okay, but like, I literally know it's gonna be okay. I finished this route once before, but it still fucking hurts in this moment. And that's so good. Hi, little bird. Anyway. Okay, I know I read that. If the full moon's tomorrow, that means he's going to... Philia, where are you? I call out for the small penguin, but I receive no answer. Meow. Mina seems to notice what I'm doing. She quickly jumps off the couch and runs into my bedroom, as if motioning for me to follow. Boop. It's raining. Mina stops in front of the small pink penguin. I glance outside to see rain falling. It's as if a sudden storm has begun out of nowhere. Bad omen, too. Philia stands eerily still as she stares intensely at one of the posters of Lumios on my wall. Philia, we need to talk. The full moon is... Master! Her unusually serious tone catches me off guard as she turns to face me. She points at Lumios' face in the poster.
Master, do you know this man? Is he someone special to you?
What? Of course, he's one of my favorite singers, but... that's not important right now. Philia, the spell...
Master, the silver-haired man here in the poster? He came by here this morning. I think he was looking for you.
And this is where it's like, dun, dun, dun. What? This is where the what moment came in. Like, wait, huh? What? Evil robot clone? What? My heart beats loudly in my chest as I realize Philia's tone is dead serious. What? Philia, that's just impossible. Especially because she's like, that's impossible, because I know damn well, deep down inside, whether she's put the pieces together or they're just floating right next to each other, she knows that Jamie is Lumios. Like, she made that connection on that stage. Even if she's trying to deny, like, okay, I'm just not going to think about it. You made that connection. Like, she knows somewhere inside, you know? Philia shakes her head as she looks back up at Lumios' face.
No! That man, he was definitely here. Philia can still sense him in the area. Philia heard him from outside. He said he wanted to sing with you.
But he already has. What's going on? Suddenly, there's a loud knock on my front door, which sends my mind racing a mile a minute. There's no way. Right? She's in like a Twilight Zone moment. I run out of my room and fail to see Mina hissing towards the door. Interesting. My heart beats loudly in my chest as I stare at the back of the man who's standing outside my door. Glowing, starlight-colored hair sways in the wind as he begins to twirl around. My eyes widen as I recognize his face immediately. Lumios? The man smirks as he faces me. And yet everyone now is like, wait, what? Evil robot clone? Question mark? I'm just saying. Good morning, Spacey. I've been waiting for you. And like, the evil in his eyes, you're like, wait, Wait. Lumios is evil? I'm confused. I know what's gonna happen, but it's one of those, when this happened, I was like, wait. Evil robot clone. Jamie's story. Episode 9-2. It's funny because in Jamie's and in Florian's, the episode 9-2, it's part of episode 9, right? It's not a complete separate chapter. But in Enoch's and in Marcello's route, they have their own complete separate chapter. I think that's a little odd. It's like it's not the same format, you know? It's just... It doesn't really change anything. It's still a fun game. But it's just one of those things where you notice and you're like, huh. All right, interesting. I sigh contentedly as I lean back and pour myself a nice cup of coffee. I look around at the empty cafe and a sincere feeling of pride takes over me. I can't believe we actually managed to save this place. I'm so glad. Suddenly I hear the doorbell chime from behind me, but I keep my eyes focused on the steaming pot in front of me. Oh, sorry, we're closed today. Oh, are you now? What a shame. I whip my head around to face the door upon hearing a familiar voice, but I see no one. I walk over and peek my head outside the shop, but still no one comes into view. I only catch the glimpse of a white cat's tail as it stalks into an alley. Well, okay, this is what's interesting. I still have not figured out who this actually is then. We're closer. I actually wonder if this is supposed to be... Because you're seeing the cat walk away, right? And like... I wonder if it's supposed to either be the cat talking, which would be weird, because cat's never spoken before, or if it was supposed to be the witch, right? Is it supposed to be her? Like calling attention? Because I think the first time I read it, and even now I was thinking it's Lumios or whatever, you know, someone involved in the whole evilness that's going to come out. Obviously, we know shit's hitting the fan. But now I'm wondering if it was supposed to be the witch. Because a familiar voice, and then all of a sudden no one's there. She's the only one that would just be magically poofing out, you know? So I'm kind of curious about that. So, anyway. I shake my head of any weird thoughts and lock the doors as I turn my attention back to the cafe. On the counter, I spy 2 gift baskets. One for me and one for Spacey. I smile as I think back on the morning's events with Mr. Saul. We told him he didn't need to get us anything, but he still did it anyways. It reminds me of you, Gramps. You guys would have been good friends, I'm sure of it. I sit back in a chair and enjoy my coffee in the shop's comfortable silence. Eventually, I look over to the piano and I can't help but grin as Spacey's adorable face from last night comes into my mind, and the inappropriate shit we did on the piano. I should, probably clean that piano, huh? I just love that. He's like, whoa, we did some gross yeah, you should. Especially for the butt print that's probably on there. That's just so funny. And just as I walk over to the sink, I spot the TV remote. I glance around the empty cafe before turning it on. Maybe some music can motivate me to clean this whole place up real good today. And when I'm done, I'll surprise Spacey with some roses and that latte she likes so much. It's the perfect plan. He's fucking adorable. He's such a goddamn cinnamon roll. As I turn on the TV, my heart almost stops. Staring back at me from the screen is none other than my own reflection, singing into a microphone on the same stage from last night. That's where the drama music's happening. I fumble with the remote as I immediately turn up the volume. An unknown singing power couple rocked Pastoria Town yesterday night during a local charity event. As the report trails on, my breath hitches. I swallow hard as clear video footage of me and Spacey's singing and eventually kissing is shown on the television. Shit. I immediately turn off the TV as I pace around the room. God damn it. I wasn't expecting the damn thing to go viral. I tear my hands through my hair as I pick up my phone to call Spacey. The phone rings and rings, but no one picks up. Damn it, come on! Pick up, Spacey, please! After a few more failed tries, I set my phone down with a huff as I bring my hands to cover my face. I take a deep breath and look around the cafe as I attempt to calm myself. I notice it starts to rain harder outside, and I stop for a few moments to listen to the sound, attempting to calm my thoughts, but it's hardly effective. Calm down, Lumios. They don't know who you are. To them, you're just a nobody that sings well. That's all. Notice he called himself Lumios. Obviously. Hello. We figured this out, but... The evil robot clone? Question mark? That's a... But... Wait, what? What's happening here? That was, I think, kind of where I was like... I think I had also, at one point, when he, like, had the accident and was like, maybe they replaced him or fired him and got someone that looked like him, and, like, Lumios is just a stage name, and there's been, like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like James Bond, where, like, he's like, I quit, blah, blah, and they're like, we're just gonna find someone that looks like you, but then it's like, but how do they get him to sing like you? Like, are you auto-tuned or something? But, like, obviously Jamie sings well, you know what I mean? So I was, like, trying to kind of figure out, and then, like, Lumios shut up, and you're like, but Jamie is Lumios. At this point, we know. So you're like, clone? Like, they found someone to replace you? Like, that's fucking weird. But then Esmeralda is like, are you ever gonna come back? It's not the same without you, because there's, like, you know what I mean? So it was like, trying to figure out the fake Lumios. What the fuck is the deal with that? Obviously, we're gonna find out. But I was, like, trying to, like, go through, like, maybe they replaced him, and, like, because he wanted to do his own thing. They were like, nah, fuck you, and they threw him at, like, how did Jamie end up here, and there's somebody pretending to be him? That's where the, like, disconnect is. Obviously, I know, because I played the game, and you do, too, because you've all played the game. No one's watching this for the first time, never having played the game, so... I should have spoiled it from the very beginning and told you everything that happened, just so if you hadn't played the game, you'd be like, why did you spoil it? Because you should have played the game first. How many times do I have to say this? Shame corner. Anyway. But I'm serious. Support them. It's fine. Everything is fine. Spacey doesn't know, and nobody knows who you really are. It's fine. I'm pretty sure we do know. We made the connection. We haven't said it to you, but we know. He can't find me here. Suddenly my phone jingles, and I open it to find a text from Spacey. Hey, sorry I missed your call. Jamie, you won't believe it. Our performance went viral. I gulp down as I read her text. I take a deep breath as my fingers type out my reply. Spacey, about that. Listen, I really need to talk to you. Oh my god, me too. You won't believe who I met today. My dream came true. And this is the weird part too. She's like, my dream came true. I met Lumios, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't think that you're the one texting it. Because I don't believe for a second that she 100%, I feel like she's like, wait. Like, we're not that stupid. When she heard him sing, she was like, this is Lumios' voice. Wait, what? And I feel like she made the connection. Even if she buried it, she knows. Like, what? Oh, what's she talking about? I think that after a few moments, my phone jingles again. As I open the message, I can feel the blood drain from my face. A selfie of Spacey and myself stare back at me. Without even thinking, I run out of the door, dialing Spacey's number. And this time she picks up. I don't believe that we're that stupid. Hello? Jamie? Where are you? Listen to me. Run. Whatever you do, don't go near that man. Suddenly another voice chuckles into the phone. I stop dead in my tracks as I breathe in heavily. Hello, Jamie. Spacey and I were just talking about you, you know. Say, would you like to join us for a cup of tea right now? I just can't believe that we put the pieces together, and we may not 100% know, but I guess maybe in the situation where, like, when she first sees him, she's like, but I thought that's impossible because Jamie is and then Lumios is in front of you, and you're like, and maybe you just all logic. You're like, crumple that up, throw it the fuck out the window. Oh my god, Lumios in front of me! You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, you know, if someone is cosplaying as a character that you like, you know it's not them, but you're still just like, you're my favorite character, I love it. You know what I mean? You just go into the like, playing pretend kind of mode. Like, you know damn well it's some person in a costume, but it's still fun to just be like, ah, love the character. You know what I mean? Because they're in character and you're having fun with it. You know? Like, you know fucking Mickey Mouse is not really fucking Mickey Mouse, because Mickey Mouse is a fucking cartoon. I know, it's okay, calm down. Breathe for a few minutes. But like, and you know it's just a dude in a costume, but it's still like, oh, it's Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? It's just, it's fun to deal with. Oh, God. Oh, I have my hat still. Shocking. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe it's in that thing where she, like, knows in the back of her mind that Jamie is Lumos. Like, she's making that connection, and then he is like, you know what, don't compare me to anyone. And she's like, no, but I like you for you. And it's like, let me just forget about that. Put it in the back of my mind. Focus on Jamie, right? We have our wonderful night. Then all of a sudden, Lumio shows up, and you're like, but that's not... Jamie is... and then you just kind of, like, forget... because the starstruckness and that person that you admire is there in front of you, and you're like, I'm just gonna forget all the shit that I know to be true, and I'm gonna throw that fucking out the window and just focus on this second right here, even though it's kind of bullshit, and like, fangirl moment. Because I don't think that we're dumb enough to not have put the pieces together. You know what I mean? Where you're like, that voice, it's like she knew in the middle of the concert. So I guess it could just be like everything together where she kind of just is like, I must be crazy because Lumios is in front of me. Like, she's just having one of those moments, you know, where you're just like, whatever. Like, I mean, I guess I think any of us would do that. Like, I've been talking to this person, and I swear to God, it's this person, and there's, you know what I mean? But, like, I think we know deep down better. Like, I don't think, but I can't remember how, if it comes out that she's shocked Jamie is Lumio. Like, I think we know. We're like, yeah, I kind of knew that. But I guess I just pushed it out of my brain. So, anyway. I have something very important I'd like to discuss with you. My mind's racing as I run as fast as my feet can take me to the address I was sent. Rain stings my eyes as I'm drenched from head to toe, but I can hardly think of anything else but Spacey. I slam the door open as I narrow my eyes at a familiar back standing in front of an empty studio lot. Where the hell is she? I growl at the lone figure in the room giving me his back, knowing full well who he is. A low chuckle reverberates through the room as the man slowly gets up from his seat and turns to face me. I really wish he would just spin in his chair and be petting the white cat. How'd you get Mina? I can't help but grit my teeth as I stare into the last pair of eyes I ever wanted to see again. Not his own. My, such terrible manners. Is that truly any way to treat your label's president? Hello, Lumios. Long time no see. I trust you've been well. Upon hearing my real name, I lunge at the man and grab him forcefully by the shirt. Enough with the bullshit, Cox! Where is she? His last name is Cox because he's a dick. I actually would feel really bad if it was like, well, actually, someone in the development crew's last name is Cox, so we gave him that name because it's like, I'm just gonna make that connection. His name is Richard Cox. His name is Dick. Like, a man named Cox grabs my hand and yanks them off easily as he chuckles darkly. Grabs my hands up, plural. I didn't read right. Awfully energetic now, aren't we? The last time I saw you, your eyes were so lifeless, so depressed. But look at you now. You even cut and dyed your hair. You look so different. But I must say, I like the new look. Tell me, my runaway star, have you enjoyed your little vacation? I have nothing to say to you, you bastard. Pure rage seeps into me as I clear daggers at the man in front of me. Cox's sarcastic smile turns dark as a vein in his neck begins to throb visibly. Oh, what a shame. Because I have plenty to say to you. Do you know the fortune that your little escapade stunt cost me in the label? Do you know how difficult it was to find someone to pretend to be you on camera? Now we know who Lumios is. There you go. It's not actually evil robot clone, just fake Lumios. To cover this whole mess up all the time. And even after all that effort, sponsors still began to pull out. Investors began to leave by the handfuls when we couldn't put you on a stage. We lost millions because of you, Lumios. And I sincerely hope you're well prepared to pay that back tenfold. Fucking douche. I'm glad. You only lost millions that didn't belong to you in the first place, you son of a... Without warning, a violent fist pummels me in the face and I fall back onto the floor. I slowly look up at Cox, who stares back at me with rage-filled eyes as I wipe some blood off my lip. I see you still treat your employees the same as before, too. What a shame. Thought you'd learn something from all this. Two hands roughly grab my shirt collar as they force me up. Cox glares daggers into my eyes as I forcefully push him off. I watch as he sighs after a few moments before laughing dryly. You know, you've always been one hell of an ungrateful brat, Lumios. Tell me something then. Who was it that created you? The visionary that molded you into perfection throughout all these years? Me, I created me. I mean, actually my parents, but... It was me! Oh, me! Gave your pathetic life meaning! I made your name mean something to the masses, you worthless piece of shit! When I took you in, you were just another singing street rat. I was the one who discovered you. I made you into a star, Lumios. The biggest and brightest of them all. And this is how you choose to repay all those years of service? I slowly shake my head as I ball my hands into fists, choosing to stand my ground against the man before me. No, you didn't do any of that, Cox. All you did was prey on a young kid who loved music, turn him into a monster. You didn't make me a star. You made me a slave. You pushed me so far down into darkness that at one point, I couldn't even see a way past it. Ha! A slave? Please! As if you didn't indulge in the lap of luxury I pampered you in all these years. And to think, you threw it all away. The fame, the fortune, the glory. Years and years of effort and work, all down the drain in a single night. And for what? I asked myself over and over. What could have possibly been so lucrative for you to just leave behind everything you ever knew, just like that? After all, I had you trained well. I knew you wouldn't dare disobey me without some outside motivation. Cox turns to me with narrowed eyes as he smiles. My eyes widen as he suddenly turns on a nearby TV screen. It seems after a little digging, I finally found my answer. He grabs the remote and turns it on to reveal the footage of last night's performance of Spacey and I. As the camera zooms into our kiss, his eyes narrow darkly at me. For a girl, Lumios? Really? I immediately rush out of my spot as I point towards the TV. She has nothing to do with any of this! Cox raises an eyebrow as he pauses the footage of us mid-kiss. Oh, come on now. Jamie, was it? Think I know you a lot better than that? Haven't you always been a bit too much of a romantic at heart? Cox begins oddly tapping his foot on the floor, but my mind is too preoccupied to notice. I swallow hard as flashbacks to my previous relationships all resurface in my mind. Idols, singers, actresses, whoever I was found with was always brutally blackmailed and threatened by my record label till we never saw each other again. Sometimes worse, if I decided to put up any ounce of a fight. It's kind of terrible. Desperation rises in my chest as Spacey's smiling face appears in mine. She means nothing to me, Cox. She's just a girl I was toying with to pass the time. So don't bother bringing her into this. It's so sad he has to say this. She's nobody to me. Got that? Is that so? Cox raises his eyebrows, seemingly surprised. I bite my lip as I manage to the best of my abilities to keep up the facade. Spacey, I'm sorry, but I have to keep you away from all of this, no matter what. Forgive me. I refocus my attention as I glare at the screen and then at Cox. She's just another girl, Cox, and not even one who knows my real name or anything about me. And definitely not one I give a damn enough about to let you harass me with. Got that? I feel so bad for him at this moment. What about that performance last night? And that kiss? Are you saying it meant absolutely nothing to you? Nothing, Cox. Nothing. She's nothing to me. Stop looking for something you won't find. I won't waste my time repeating myself again. I'm no longer the puppet you held all the strings to anymore. Things have changed, Cox. Cox frowns as he begins to slowly shake his head. My, Lumios, you've gotten awfully cruel, haven't you? I even heard she was a big fan of yours. Yeah, just another fan. An easily replaceable asset. That's all she ever was to me. That's all she ever will be. I hurt for him having to say this, because it gets worse. Someone who doesn't even know the real me. That's not true. We do know the real you, and you can tell by the look in his face. He's like, such a lie. Huh. Well said. Cox suddenly smiles darkly as he turns around to face a nearby door. Well, I'm afraid it's been made quite crystal clear, hasn't it? My apologies, Miss Spacey. It appears our star has no interest in working with someone such as yourself. My heart stops as Cox motions towards a nearby door and opens it, revealing Spacey and Lumios standing behind it. My breath hitches as I stare at Spacey. Tears fall freely down her face as she looks up at me, completely heartbroken. You knew that was coming, didn't you? Oh, but it hurt so much. Jamie? Spacey looks at me in disbelief, and slowly lowers her head. A soft sob escapes her. I flinch, taking a step forward without thinking, but stopping when I notice Cox looking my way, gauging my reaction carefully. The thing is I think we knew deep down he was Lumio. Like, I don't think she's that dumb, but everything he's just saying, like, what? Like, everything all at once. No, my dear, weren't you listening? His real name is Lumios Oren. Oh, my apologies. He never bothered to tell you that, did he? As Spacey looks up at me again, I grit my teeth and dig my nails into my palms as I watch the other Lumios sneak an arm around her waist. There, princess. I'm only an actor, but I'll comfort you better than he did. Come, let's step outside together. Get your damn hands off of her! Just as I'm about to lunge forward, I'm held back by two men in suits that have now entered the room. Spacey looks at me one last time as tears fall from her eyes. I can only watch helplessly as the disguised actor escorts her out of the room. Cox watches them leave before he stares back at me. You know, you've never been a very good liar. I don't know why you insist on trying. Poor girl. She came in talking about how wonderful you were and how you were her hero all this time. I think you might have lost a fan. I attempt to lunge at him, but the two suited men hold me back in place. Like, he literally is like a fucking slave. Like, this is sad. You bastard! I swear I'll never sing for you again, even if it's the last thing I do. You might want to reconsider that statement, Lumios. Otherwise, well, who knows what could happen to that poor, heartbroken girl you love so dearly. My blood runs cold as I stare up at Cox's face and watch as it twists in amusement. He watches Spacey sing from the TV, and I feel my heart sink as I can sense where this conversation is going. You know, now that I think about it, she sings pretty well. With some polishing, I'm sure she could shine as brightly as... Don't! I breathe heavily as I look at the ground. I bite my lip hard enough to draw blood as I shake my head. Please, don't. I'll sing, I'll dance, I'll do whatever you want, just please. Please don't touch her. Cox grins and motions for the bodyguards to let me go. As they do, I fall to the floor. I close my eyes and grit my teeth, feeling a sense of absolute defeat wash over my entire body. A rough hand grabs me by the chin and forces me to look up as I peer into Cox's twisted, dark smile. Ah, there's my obedient little Lumios. Seems we've finally reached a deal, yes? Good. Welcome back. That motherfucker. Ugh. It's so painful! Oh my god. Lyrics of love. The fake Lumios pushes me out the doors of outside the doors of the studio, and I fall to the wet floor. I can only slowly look back at him as disbelief rocks my whole system from the situation that's just unfolded. I stare at his face, feeling my voice come out faint. Lumios? The man scoffs at me. From hair to makeup, everything about him is identical to the real Lumios' former image, except his eyes. His eyes bore into me with a deep disgust. Afraid not, sweetheart. Weren't you listening this whole time? Just an actor. The real Lumios is that fool you call Jamie. Now get the hell out of here if you know what's good for you. I can only watch helplessly as he turns around and marches back inside the studio without so much as a glance back. So see, he can't do live performances, but he can do like, oh, here's a performance. Oh, he's singing on stage. Because he can lip sync. You know what I mean? But like, a live performance he can't do. Because he can't sing like Jamie, so. Shortly after, two large men emerge from the inside and stand guard at the door. I slowly turn forward and realize it's raining. As I try to get up, my knees give out and I fall back down. I close my eyes as Jamie's intense words reverberate through my system.
Master!
Philia? I slowly open my eyes to see Philia rushing towards me. The small penguin jumps into my arms and I immediately hug her tightly. Philia, I'm such an idiot. The penguin shakes her head, tears brim in her little eyes as she looks up at me.
Master's no idiot. Philia will make those bad men pay. She'll...
Suddenly, Philia feels lighter as I hold her in my arms. A soft, strange light starts to envelop her, and she begins to fade. This is the saddest, one of the saddest Philia leavings ever. Okay. Also I just wanted to say goodbye in Marcello's room. Like, why? Why do you have to make this sadder than the whole game? Jesus! Like, I know she's gonna come back to us, but it's so fucking sad every time she disappears. I think it breaks my heart more than our boyfriend's hurting us, okay? Philia, what's happening to you?
Master, the spell. Something's wrong.
My eyes widen as I come to a realization. I look back at her fearfully as I quickly explain what just transpired inside the studio. The bright light continues to engulf Philia slowly as her lower half now begins to fade.
Then, the name you wrote in the love spell wasn't his real name? Oh, no.
Philia, what's happening? How can I make it stop? Philia looks up at me sadly as more tears fall from my eyes. Slowly, she shakes her small head.
You can't. The spell is... I'm sorry, Master.
What? Philia, what are you talking about?
This is... Goodbye, Master. Philia will always remember you.
Philia, please! Please don't go! I need you! Please!
Thank you for being my friend.
I cry out her name as she fades away completely in my arms, and the guards standing at the door are like, this bitch is crazy. Only small pink sparkles remain floating in the air before they too eventually fade. Thunder rumbles as the rain picks up, mirroring the storm inside my heart. Without the strength to hold myself up, I only fall to the floor once more and cry my eyes out as my heart rips itself apart. But see, so this brings up an interesting point. She wrote Jamie in there. Jamie's in love with you. Jamie's not his real name, so... I'm just saying. So it's kind of interesting how 2 out of the 4 stories, you write the person's name, they fall in love with you, then they forget, and then they remember you. And then, like, the other 2 is, like, you write their name in the book, they fall in love with you, but it's actually real because, like, Enix is, like, we know now has the red string of fate. Like, he's your destined one, which kind of makes it sad that it was the first route I did, and as opposed to originally it was going to be the last one, because then it's like, it feels like that's supposed to be that's the canon kind of route, you know? But writing his name in the book did nothing, because he was in love with you since high school, so you didn't make him fall in love with you by writing the name in the book, right? So he was but he's not the exception to the rule, because Jamie is too, because you didn't write his real name. So technically, Jamie the barista didn't fall in love with you. Lumios, the person who was pretending to not be a pop star, fell in love with you. And like, writing his name in the book did nothing, technically. So 2 exceptions to the rule. So it's kind of interesting. It's like, I kind of like that it's like, not exactly the same. Like, anyway, 3 weeks later, notice all of our Lumios posters are gone. It's kind of sad. I slowly open my tired eyes, only to meet the expanse emptiness of my bedroom. A thick silence blankets my entire apartment, as it has for almost an entire month now. It's so sad. Even Mina left me. As birds chirp outside and sunshine creeps in through the edges of my curtains, I pull my covers over me. My body feels sore and my eyes itch from running out of tears from all the crying I've done in the last few weeks. It does be like that, huh? Slowly, I peek out from under the covers. My eyes land on a small poster of Lumio sticking up from under my bed, and I narrow my eyes. I think it's kind of cute how she was so heartbroken, so angry, but she took everything down, but she packed it away, because there's still something in you that's like connected to that. And it's not like, I have no connection anymore. She packed it and put it away, like, with that, in a way, deep down in forethought of maybe someday I will get past it and I'll be able to appreciate that connection that I had with that, like, whatever it was, again, like in this case, her pop idol, right? Because it's kind of almost sadder when you have something that meant something to you all your life, and then all of a sudden you get to the point where you're like, this means nothing to me. Like, I don't even, like, logically I know it meant something at one point, but it doesn't, I'm going to get rid of it. Like, you know what I mean? So it's actually almost cuter that she kept it, because you know that connection that she felt just back in high school when, you know, finding Lumios pulled her through those rough times. That's something so important that even though Jamie's broken her heart and it's devastating and almost like those good feelings are like overshadowed right now, they're still buried so deep down that I'm going to put this away. And maybe at some point, those good feelings, that beautiful moment that she had in the beginning, will be so gone, will be erased, and she'll be able to throw it away, but she can't do it even though it hurts so much right now. It's tragic, but beautifully tragic, you know? Anyway. I throw the covers off me as I slowly get up, glaring daggers at the poster. As I approach it, I grip my teeth. Pent-up emotions all come rising back to the surface as I stare at his image. It's like you partially want her to take out her rage and rip it to shreds, but you know she can't do that. I bring my hands into a position to rip it straight down the middle, but I falter. Do it! Do it, damn it! My hands tremble as I shakily hold the poster. Lumios. No. Jamie's face smiles back at me. After a few moments, I drop the poster to the ground. I let out a soft sob as I drop to the floor next to it. Why did it have to turn out like this? A while later, I stand up. I catch my disheveled appearance in a nearby mirror, along with the state of my strewn-out apartment. This is enough. I can't do this to myself anymore. I need to get over him and get a grip back on my life, even if it means forgetting all about him. It's not the first time I've had my heart ripped apart anyways. Yeah, but now your heart was ripped apart by the person who helped you put your heart back together after it was ripped apart the first time. Like, damn, this is actually more tragic than Enix's route if you think about it. Like, I've always loved you and you always loved me, and then you were tricked, and it's like, but now it's like, in this universe, your heart was ripped to shreds by Enix. Lumios healed that heart, and then your heart gets ripped to shreds by the person who is this route feels like my life in general. Like, every time you think you're doing okay, life is like, go fuck yourself, bitch, and like, just knocks you back down. Jesus. Oh, Christ. Oh. I turn around to stare at the poster on my floor. Pain fills my heart as I stare down at the face of the man I love more than anything in the world. except the cruel words he said that fateful day also come rushing back to mind. I mean, here's the thing. You want to be like, come on, girl, you know that's not true. But at the same time, if someone said that, and you were telling yourself, well, it's not true. He only said it to protect me. Really, did it? You know you're going to be in two places. Like, he only said it to protect me. Did he really? Am I stupid enough to believe that? Maybe he did. Maybe you don't know what to believe, you know? And you really have only known him for like a month, so you don't know that he wasn't full of shit. You want to believe he's not, but then you're like, but that's fucking naive, you know? Or is it having faith in it? It's hard, man. It's in a tough fucking place to be. What do you trust? You know what I mean? Trust is a fucking hard thing. And I have trust issues, okay? I attempt to empty my head of any thoughts of him as I grab the poster, roll it up, and toss it back under my bed. I unlock the front door of Cafe Estrella, letting out a deep sigh as I slump into a nearby chair. It seems so dark. I know it's supposed to be the morning, but doesn't everything just seem like darker? Like there's a dark green over everything. Memories of Jamie and our time together here flood me as I attempt to shake them off. It could just be because it's morning and those are the morning shadows, but I just feel like it's, in this moment, everything is just shrouded in gloom. I look around the cafe and notice dust has begun to settle. This place has been closed for a while now. I should at least clean it up before Mr. Saul gets back from his trip. I grab a trash bag and heave it over my shoulder as I step outside to dump it in a nearby bin. Just as I grab a broom to begin sweeping the shop's entrance, I hear a familiar piano melody play out, coming from inside the cafe. I look up towards the front door leading back inside as my heart begins to race. This song is... As I burst into the front door, I look over at the piano. That's the sound the piano made when we were boning on it. What? Nothing. The melody has stopped and no one's there. I breathe heavily as I tear my hands through my hair. Oh, wonderful. Now I'm hearing things. Ugh, get a grip, woman. Just as I shake my head and begin to walk back, a voice stops me in my tracks.
Excuse me, I'd like to order some coffee.
Takes me a minute to get the witch's voice, huh? My head turns around to spot a familiar old lady sitting at the counter alongside a big, strange bag. She looks over at me with an amused smile. My jaw drops. You're...
Why, a customer, of course. I hope I haven't come on another bad day, have I?
Okay, so she was the one that popped it. It was her. I kind of forgot that line, but like, so she was the one that showed up when Jamie was there alone. So it was supposed to be her, so whoops. Just rewind that and pretend I read it in her voice, okay? I stare at the witch's smiling face, and I can't help but gulp. No, I'll take your order right away. Just a second. The witch watches me as I quickly throw on an apron and head towards the counter. She eyes me warmly as she chuckles to herself. Like, but the front door is locked. How'd you... Witch, never mind. Well, what would you... like...
How about an iced latte? I heard those are quite good here.
I can only meekly nod and turn around to start working on her drink. After a few moments, she turns around and begins rummaging through her bag. I watch her as she pulls out a few sheets of paper and she organizes them in front of me. I catch a glimpse of one and I can't help but bite my lip. Are those lyrics?
Why, yes, they are.
Who's that? That's the witch. That's so fun to do anyway.
Why, yes, they are. Say, dearie, if you've got the time, would you be so kind as to listen to an old woman's request?
Request?
And that's right. You see, I'm quite a big fan of this song here, but, well, I haven't found anyone to sing it for me in ages. Would you be willing to sing this song for me?
My eyes widen as I watch her expression, but she returns the gaze with a knowing smile. I quickly shake my head as I finish preparing her drink. I can't.
Why, of course you can.
doesn't fit with her voice, but it's just fun to laugh that way. I'm sorry.
I was in the audience the other day to witness your fabulous performance, you know. Oh, come now, my dear. Won't you entertain a poor old woman's silly request?
I bite my lip as I look up from underneath my bangs. The witch smiles tenderly at me as I hand her the coffee, and in return, she hands me the sheet music. I let out a deep sigh as I begin to shift through the papers, when suddenly... Wait a minute. These lyrics. I've seen them before somewhere. As I read over the familiar lyrics on the papers, my eyes widen. I remember reading the exact same words from Jamie's notebook the morning we were together, but these continue on with more. The witch laughs, sensing my confusion, as she takes a sip from her drink.
Do they look familiar to you, dearie? I'm afraid you'll find these are a little different than your regular old lyrics, though. Why don't you give them a try? Come on now, no need to be shy.
The witch looks at me expectantly as I clear my throat. I take a deep breath and I begin to sing the accompanying notes. La la la! Ah, magic! My singing's so magic, guys. Uh-huh. Suddenly, a flash of light shines through the cafe and I stop. The witch shakes her head as she beckons me to go on.
No. You have to keep singing or you won't be able to see it.
See it? See what?
It.
The witch narrows her eyes at me as she twirls the iced latte in her hand. She watches the ice cubes swirl in the drink before she stops.
Well, the truth, of course. Don't you want to know?
The truth? At this, the witch refuses to say anything more. She just points at the sheet music. I swallow again before I clear my throat. An odd feeling wells up in my chest as I begin to sing. La! You're welcome. I'm not sorry. I am sorry, a little bit. Flashes of light envelop the cafe, and I'm taken aback as visions of other people and places manifest themselves around us. I look around, surprised, as in front of me I see a young boy playing on a piano with his grandparents.
Keep singing, my dear.
I nod my head at her and I continue to sing. Keep singing! I just get some Little Mermaid vibes right there. It's fun. As the song goes on, I watch as the young boy picks up different instruments and falls in love with every single one of them. One day, he opens his mouth and begins to sing. At first, he's nervous and shy, but his grandparents laugh and smile warmly, ushering him on, and his nervousness is replaced with joy. The young boy eventually begins to sing on the streets, drawing in crowds of people filled with laughter and smiles all around. As he watches people smile and laugh around him, the young boy grows excited. With each passing song, he sings more and more passionately. My eyes widen as suddenly, among the crowds, I watch as a younger version of the man named Cox from before watches him. Eventually, he goes up to the young boy and hands him a card. The young boy smiles excitedly as he grabs the card and looks back towards his grandparents. The elderly couple cheers him on and motions him forward. The young boy takes Cox's outstretched hand and shakes it. Wait, this is... I continue to sing and my heart begins to beat faster and faster. As the song continues, various scenes of the boy's new life begin to unfold in front of me. At one point, a now fully grown man turns around, with a face I recognize well. It really was him, all this time. Suddenly, visions of pain begin to surround me. I miss a note when I watch Lumios fall over in the middle of a dance practice. He's exhausted and clearly at his limit, but the man from before yells at him to get up. My entire body jolts when I watch Lumios try to say something, but the man strikes him relentlessly before ordering in a makeup artist to cover it up. It's fucking awful. It probably fucking happens. Horror envelops my heart as I watch this scene play out time and time again. As the years pass, I can only watch as the young boy's original smile eventually fades from his face, and in his place stands a man with lifeless eyes. More visions of suffering and pain surround me, and I find myself unable to will my voice to go on. The visions start to falter and flash back between the cafe and them. The witch eyes me. This is Lumios's story. No, this is Jamie's story.
Keep singing, child. You must.
I muster up every amount of courage I can and continue to sing. My voice is shaky and I sound terrible, but I continue. I watch as Lumios, as Jamie, puts on smiles for his fans, his family, his friends, and all the people around him. He sings for them, lifts them up, and gives them wings. But when the curtain closes and he's alone, the mask comes off, and instead of a smile, there's only pain, grief, and suffering. As the song goes on, I watch as booze, red eyes, and pills pile up around him, and the darkness only swallows him more. Eventually, I find myself sobbing as I keep trying to choke out the words on the page. Sergio's room. I know it's not supposed to be his room in this, but I'm just saying. Jamie, all this time you were suffering so much. As the song goes on, I watch the reality of the accident I heard about on the news unfold before me. I watch as, one night, he crosses paths with the same witch now seated beside me. It's her hat. I watch as she extends a hand out to him and he takes it. Like, this witch be helping everyone. I love her. She's literally a witch, so it wasn't like I was being mean calling her a witch. I'm just like, she's literally a witch that helps everyone. It was funny though. Suddenly, all is lost in light. When the boy comes to, he's lying on a street he doesn't recognize, with a completely different appearance. As he stumbles around the streets, he bumps into an elderly man taking out a pile of trash. The man asks if he's all right as he extends a hand to him. The boy takes it, and as the elderly man asks for his name, he catches his appearance in a nearby display, and he smiles. Jamie, named after my grandfather, the boy answers. Aww. The old man smiles as he shakes his hand. A fine name indeed. I know I didn't read in their voices, but... Suddenly, the scene then transitions into visions of our time together. Times I can recall. I hope not the time on the piano, because, like, holy shit. You're like, ugh. I watch a small light that had gone out slowly begin to come to shine again in the boy's heart. As we kiss on the stage, the light shines brighter than ever before. I clutch my heart as I continue singing, hoping, wishing that my words could reach him now. He appears in front of me as I sing the last verse, and I run over to touch him. But he vanishes into thin air as the song comes to an end. Through the music, I felt it. I felt everything. His pain, his suffering. I felt it all, and he never let anyone know. He always put a smile on for everyone, even though he was hurting so much. He sounds normal, that's what people do. I collapse to the ground as I clutch my heart, tears pouring out of my eyes. I can no longer speak coherent sentences as I just cry. The witch slowly approaches me and places a gentle hand on my shoulder.
It's often said that those who smile the brightest are often those who carry the greatest sadness in their hearts.
So fucking true. I look over at her as I clutch her dress. Tears stream from my face unrelentingly. Please, I want to help him. No, I need to help him. He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve to go back into that darkness. Nothing matters to me anymore. Nothing. I want to save him. Please, I'm begging you. The witch sadly smiles as she quietly extends a hand to me, similar to the way she had done to Lumios in the visions. I take it and slowly rise to my feet. The witch chuckles as she attempts to wipe my tears, but new ones replace those just as quickly.
Oh dear, that young man means quite a lot to you now, doesn't he?
He's my hero. No, he's so much more at this point. He's everything to me. I want to do the same. I have to. This time I'll be his hero. I'll save him. I owe him that much. I quietly grab the witch's hand as she perks up in surprise. Please, help me save him. I'll do anything. I'll give up anything if it's to... The witch chuckles as she slowly wraps me in a warm hug. That ain't how she works.
Now, my dear child, there's no need to be rash. Let's try and calm down for a second, shall we?
I really mean it. I have to help him no matter what. I couldn't care less if he feels nothing for me at all. I have to help him. I won't stand by and watch him suffer any longer. Not when I know the truth. The witch chuckles as she turns around for a few moments before smiling at me.
Very well said, my dear. You know, I've always been fond of that zest for justice of yours. I'll gladly lend you my aid. However, I must be honest with you. Even I'm not sure if it will be enough at this point to save him.
What do you mean? I watch as the witch shakes her head slowly as she lets out a deep sigh.
Right now, that young man's heart is lost in darkness. Even now I can feel as it cries out for help, sinking deeper with each passing second. At this point, you might be the only one who can help him, dearie. You must serve as his light, just as he once served as yours.
Suddenly, the witch grabs the sheet music as she narrows her eyes, handing them towards me.
But just like the stories go, I'm afraid those who seek to become heroes must also face great monsters. Your own greatest monster, in fact.
Just as I'm about to question her, the cafe's TV screen flickers on. The witch's eyes stay fixed on me as I turn to watch the news report play out. Everyone in the world is gearing up for the comeback show of world-renowned pop idol sensation, Lumios. As many know, the young star tragically got into an accident a number of months ago, and he's not stepped on an actual stage since. Celebrities and fans alike from all over the world are getting ready for his comeback show that's set to take the stage tonight. The concert will be live-streamed and broadcast around the globe as just about everyone's preparing for the stage return of Heaven's Lost Angel. I have to sing on stage. My heart stops as the camera pans over hundreds and hundreds of people in line behind a giant venue. Many are cheering and many hold expectant looks on their faces as they begin to prepare for the concert. The TV suddenly shuts off and I stare at the witch in front of me.
Well, dearie, what do you think? Are you up to the task? Do you think your voice will truly be able to reach the hearts of people all around this world, just as his once did?
I bite my lip hard as I grab the sheet music from her. A fire burns brightly in my heart as Jamie's smiling face appears in my mind. I don't know if I can, but I sure as hell am gonna try. The witch looks at me, baffled, before she bursts out laughing.
Oh my, I've seen that look before.
I can't laugh like her, I don't know why. Anyway.
I'm most pleased to hear it. Best of luck, my dear child.
I don't know why that makes me laugh so hard. As she hands me the sheet music, I can see the letters on the page gleam with ethereal light. I smile at the witch appreciatively, knowing exactly what I have to do. I don't even hesitate to pull her into a hug as she laughs again. Thank you. Thank you so much. Not just for this, but for letting me experience something so beautiful. I really feel I've changed since that day you and I crossed paths.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere. I've liked you from the moment I met you, you know. Seems that my previous gift gave you more than you bargained for,
I'll never forget it for as long as I live. The witch cackles as she pushes the sheet music into my hand and motions me towards the door with a knowing grin.
You better get going, Missy. You have a show to get to.
I grin at her and I immediately turn around to run out of the door when suddenly she stops me.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Sorry. One last thing, my dear, before I forget.
The witch pulls out a familiar, quirky pen from her pocket as she hands it to me with a small smile.
I know someone else who loves your singing. I'm sure she wouldn't want to miss it for the world.
I hold Villia's pen in my hand as I stare back at the witch. Thank you.
Now off with you, young lady. You can't be late for this performance. I know I won't be.
Right, just you watch me. I run out of the cafe, and the witch smiles as she watches me go. Suddenly, a soft meow is heard, and the witch turns around.
Meow. Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you, Brunhilde. What a naughty little kitten you've been.
It's the witch's fucking cat, and her name's actually Brunhilde. Jamie's like, I don't know, Brunhilde. Well, that's a weird name. It's actually the cat. So funny. I love that. It's cute. The witch picks up Mina. The kitten licks her cheek before she suddenly meows and motions toward the door, and it was like her cat. That's so cute. As the small kitten looks in the direction Spacey left, pink sparkles appear around her, and her eyes begin to glow.
Oh, my. Don't tell me you want to go watch the show, too. Well, then, let's be on our way. This should be a performance of a lifetime.
We'll get our concert in the stars in the next part. So yeah, we'll get our endings in the next part, and like usual, we'll do the bad ending first and then do our good ending. So, but yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.